Every night, I, the god, grew more and more every year. When did you join the guard? 2 days ago. This is my first patrol. This is no place. He's mine! I'm taking. Leave that!
Ugh!
Better go home, sir. No civilians allowed, sir. Step away, sir.
It's locked. Whitechapel. This neighborhood is linked somehow to the kind Lady Ashbury's blackmail. First, let's find this Petrescu fellow.
place for a stroll.
And more of these bloody leeches every night.
It's one of them! The wet boots will be proud of me.
Are you all right?
The bastard hit the wall next to me. I don't even know if he meant to miss.
If you've been hurt, I can help you. I'm a doctor.
Name's Albert. Remember it. Now bugger off.
I found the recruiter you were expecting. He's dead, but he carried a note. The Wet Boot Boys have accepted your application.
I knew it! I told you I was tough enough. I'll be free soon.
This note was found on a dead man, Albert. If that doesn't change your mind, then you must be ready to face the risks.
You're all fancy words, none of which concern me. Go worry about someone else. I'm fine and I've a future here.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? If you know anything about her, I'd appreciate it.
Never heard of her. She's pretty, I'll keep an eye out.
What happened? Did you really steal that man's medication?
Hey, I didn't do anything, it ain't me.
Medication and drugs are a rare commodity in East London, so you picked an easy target, didn't you?
Sod off, mister. You ain't got no clue what's going on here. Bastard was a soldier in the war, so now he's got the right to shoot me.
It's true. I'm not familiar with this part of town. Perhaps you could help me.
I said sod off. Go find yourself another guide.
Goodbye, young man.
Someday you'll understand. You've wasted your life away. What?
Shooting a boy in the middle of the street. Not the best thing to do, wouldn't you say?
What? You saw what happened? Who are you?
I'm Dr. Reed, and I'd like to ask you a few questions, if you promise me to set your gun aside.
No. Look, I'm not a violent man. I'm Benjamin Palmer, doctor. And no one can help me. Not even you.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy?
Funny, I've been searching for her too. I need some pills.
Really?
Word is she ain't real. It's just a cover for some doctor who runs an illegal dispensary for migrants.
What can you tell me about this place?
Nothing to say, really. This is where I used to...
You mean you used to have a...
Yeah, I had a wife, a home, and a job. I even used to have a name. And now I'm just Ben. Ben the Tramp.
You don't have anywhere to go?
Not since the death of my wife. Albert's mother. She was sick, you see. Long before the flu and all this shit.
Perhaps you could
I'm sick, broke, and my son just stole my pills. Everything's coming up roses.
Whatever the boy did, I'm sure he didn't deserve a pump.
I swear I didn't want to hit him. It's just that I'm sick in the head, you see, and the boy he just frayed me last nerve.
What is it, Benjamin? It was the war, wasn't it? Your nerves are shot, aren't they? I need some answers, Private. From one soldier to another.
The doctors called me a liar, a coward. Put me in a straitjacket, locked me up. Finally, they sent me back to the front lines with a handful of tablets.
Yes. Sounds like shell shock. I've seen a few cases like yours. This is nothing you should be ashamed of, Benjamin. And it's perfectly natural in your situation.
I'm not ashamed. I just need my pills.
What can you tell me?
Nothing.
Perhaps...
I'm
What is it? Yeah.
not...
A gun? Good evening, miss.
Good evening, sir. Are you interested in a miraculous cure for this unknown and deadly epidemic?
Actually, I am.
Then you have come to the right place. The famous Swanborough cordial is all you need to help keep you in perfect health.
Oh, really? Why didn't I hear about it during my studies? I'm Jonathan Reed, by the way. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Ah, my brother has spoken of your research, sir. I'm Loretta Swanborough, and it's always a pleasure to meet a fellow healer.
I'd like to see what kind...
Good evening.
If I could get some work.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
I don't like to talk about competition.
Competition, you say?
Never met her, but it seems she provides some sort of medical care to the poor. The whole thing has to be some sort of scam, if you ask me.
Tell me, who intrigues you?
The region itself is something to see, but I would
What do you think of the...
most of them are afraid or desperate. They all
Is there anyone I...
Cadogan Bates, without a doubt. The bloody bastard remorselessly exploits poor migrants as soon as they get here.
Goodbye.
All the good boys join the army and the scum
When
turn
science
criminals.
fails you, this elixir will give you
Good
faith
evening,
again.
Benjamin. Can I help?
I'm afraid not.
A gun...
Even the flu is no match for the Swanborough cordial. The Swanborough cordial.
Good evening, sir. Do you remember me?
If you're here for a reward, you'll be sorely disappointed. But I'll gladly shake the hand of a fellow countryman.
I'm not here for a bounty. I'm a doctor. Dr. Reed from the Pembroke.
A doctor? In Whitechapel? What an opportunity. My name's Bates, Cadogan Bates.
Do you require assistance, Mr. Bates?
Not me, but your skills could help a lot of people round here. That would help my business, because I say, a live tenant's a paying tenant.
I'm looking for Dorothy Crane.
Dorothy Crane, bless her soul.
Has she treated you? Has she treated you?
No. When I need a checkup, I'd go to a bloody doctor, not some back alley clinic full of sick foreigners.
You seem to have recovered well since your attack. Do you ever think about what happened to you?
Not much. It was a fucking nightmare. Savages, absolute bloody savages. Their appearance. Jesus. It made me want to puke.
You'd better not come back here. I won't be around next time to save you. I want to know everything about the recent violence, Cadigan. And I want the truth.
Well, rent may be a bit high, and yeah, I've had to evict a few people. But that's business, isn't it?
I don't believe even you deserve such a cruel fate, though you have tested my patience beyond its limit.
Glad to hear. Nice to know there's another civilized in...
It's unusual to see...
Why should I be sad now? There've always been wars, disease, tragedy. There always will be.
That's an unusual...
I don't see why I should shed a tear.
What is your business, exactly?
I offer fair lodgings for a modest price.
I see.
Well, deals can be done, if you know what I mean.
In other words...
Begging your pardon, I thought you was a man who could appreciate the complex...
What help could I possibly...
That's simple. I already get good money from all those fleeing the war. Can you imagine what they'd be willing to pay if I could offer medical assistance too?
Mr. Bates, do not make me regret saving your life in this quarantine zone.
I understand, Dr. Reed, you're from a good family. Don't want to get your hands dirty. That's fine. I'll be happy to act as your middleman.
I'm no saint, but to take advantage as you do, you are a despicable man who could only prosper in these dark...
So it's a no, then. That's too bad. The Reed tonic could have really helped people, you know, save lives. Isn't that what you do? I mean, people buy that Swanborough shit.
Tell me, what's your...
People are just beginning to discover...
What do you mean?
People are acting like Leviathan.
Since I took an oath to...
Well...
I will... Good.
Swanborough cordial can be the answer to all your problems.
Mr. Bates,
Eve,
since I took it,
well,
infecting you is probably the last thing.
what? You give me this for free?
Goodbye.
The Swanborough cordial can
Good
be
evening,
the
Ben.
answer to all your problems.
You don't seem well.
Oh,
As long as you have the money.
I will see.
Effectiveness has been proven by many.
I won't end up another drunk arsehole littering the...
How are you?
I'm not...
Do you need assistance?
Please.
There you go.
Very fun.
Goodbye, young.
everything would be better.
I have this thirst for blood.
The Swanborough cordial can be the answer to
People talk about this. What do you want? Leave me alone.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I'm looking for Nurse Dorothy Crane.
There is no Dorothy Crane here. Now goodbye.
I'm afraid this medical leaflet says the opposite, sir.
Really? Well, I'm afraid I'm going to close this door right now. Go bother someone else, Mr. Doctor.
To enter that house, I must discover who this man really is. Maybe I could start by observing what he's up to.
Distribute flowers this night.
No one's there.
Maybe it's time to see if this... A strange man was at the door with a pass for our medical facility. I refused him entry.
Darius, how could you know he didn't need our help?
His clothes were too finely tailored to be for Whitechapel.
Perhaps just a friend of that stray poet who is always about.
Richard Nithercott? No, not of the same cloth, this man. I suspect some machination from that journalist.
Clayton Darby. Is he still asking questions?
Yes. I saw him drifting around St. Mary's Church. I swear he is tracking me just downwind.
I must talk to that journalist or the poet. They must know about Darius. Nearby the church they just mentioned.
Distribute flowers this
Joe, please, I don't have your money.
Come on, Barrett, you know the game. You pay for peace of mind.
Welcome, sir. Please, take a browse of my wares.
I'm Dr. Reed. I would like...
Doctor? Interesting. I'm Barrett Lewis. Usually I don't have time to waste with talk, but at this hour of the night I can hardly refuse.
Have you heard of a nurse called Dorothy Crane?
Nurse Crane? So the bitch really is a nurse, then? Always thought she was just some crafty foreigner, that one.
Yes. Those bloody immigrants should know their place, eh? How dare they do a better job than the lazy natives of this land?
Dorothy Crane ain't even a real name. Something like Dorothea Craniu. Something like that. Came to England fleeing the war, I was told.
That doesn't explain why she irritates you so much.
Your precious Nurse Crane gives away medical supplies and prescriptions for free. I offered to sell it for a fair cut, but no. Miss Crane wanted to play the quiet saint.
How is business around here?
Business? I have no business. Between this racket, theft, and customers getting scared, I'm losing money every day.
I see. Sounds like you blame someone in particular for your situation.
It's no secret Joe Peterson spends his time harassing merchants. But with me, he's trying to put me out of business once...
As a merchant, you see Whitechapel every...
Well, you mean besides the epidemic, the war, and all the usual crap? As long as I can remember, this part of town has been a bottomless pit, and no sign of the...
Violence is increasing?
Yeah. A few nights ago,
Where did this happen?
in the closed workshops nearby. Oh,
Have you been hurt?
no, but that's only because I ran like hell. Those men were raving lunatics, I tell you. Not even able to speak anymore, just screaming.
Fancy. マジで病気になりすぎだろ、この人。
Right then.
普通のこれだな。まだあるじゃん。わからんの。
Excuse me, sir.
Another journalist? I didn't answer them.
I'm not a journalist.
A doctor, you say?
Really? But still, here I am.
I'm Joe Peterson to some, but Colossus Joe...
Have you heard of a nurse named Dorothy Crane? She's a colleague of mine, and is supposed to live around here.
Dorothy Crane? Yeah, I know her. One of the few good souls who dare to help the sick around here.
Could you please tell me more about her?
She's a nice girl. Tries to help the migrants. I offered to give her a hand, but she said my reputation would attract too much attention.
May I ask what...
I'll do whatever I want and so...
According to you...
Not familiar with this neighborhood, are you?
This part of town does have quite...
Totally. Look at me, for instance.
How did you become the local bully everyone is afraid of, Joe?
There's no pride in roughing up poor bastards. But this is the only job I've found. And it pays well, too.
A job? So you're racketeering for someone else?
I got enlisted by the Wet Boot Boys, a gang from the docks. I'm their muscle for their dirty work.
Most people don't become thugs.
I don't care what you think, sir. I do what I have to do.
I'm not sure Mr. Lewis would agree with you.
Oh, do you really think he's the poor victim here? Barrett can be as sneaky as anyone. Long ago, I even called the bastard my best...
お、結構こいつ美味しい感じ。あれ、ルイス。あと1個か。やっとルイス食うの大変だな。でもこれ、このヒントが使う。
Goodbye. Hello, young man. I'm Dr. Reed.
Sorry, no, sir.
Your father is worried about you.
So my father actually worries about me. Is there only pain and suffering in this world?
So, may I ask you a few questions?
I'm not bothered. What could be worse?
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
Yes, I know her. She came here to examine me when I was very sick. She said I should go out more.
Your father and Mr. Lewis used to be good friends. What happened, Harry?
I was young then. I don't remember Mr. Lewis ever coming back again after my mother died. Or was it after my father started bullying him? I don't know.
But you are not responsible.
Am I not? Dad always says that he joined that gang for my safety. So if I wasn't born, people wouldn't be worrying about Colossus Joe.
Have you tried speaking to...
I don't go out often, but yes. And he scolded me and told me to leave him alone. I guess my father frightens him too much.
How do you feel?
I'm fine. I mean, it's not easy every day, but I'm fine. I'm just tired of being sick all the time. If only I could be...
Speaking of which... What can you tell me?
My father is an idiot who makes idiot...
Forgive my bluntness, young...
Why should I? I never...
Oh, 2個。何しようか。
You have a roof over your head?
That's exactly what my father says.
If life here is so terrible...
I don't go outside. It terrifies me so. I went outside once without my father noticing and I saw terrible things. Bloody and frightening things.
So that's why you stay at home all day? For fear of the epidemic?
I'm not afraid of disease or death, Dr. Reed. It's the living I'm afraid of.
まだヒント使ってない。
Goodbye, young.
Even my dreams are soaked with gloom.
It's locked.
開いてないかもわかるよね。どうだ？かな？出た。 どれか。うんだね。
Even my dreams are soaked with gloom.
You again?
Harry doesn't seem happy living in Whitechapel. Why did you...
I've always put my son's interests above everything else, whatever he may think. Our house is small but affordable. The walls are thin.
You really love your son, don't you?
He's my pride and joy. Even if he hates me for the choices I make and pushes me buttons more than he should.
Do you have any...
Only one. Not to have my beloved wife.
Since the criminal nature of your job means you could be arrested, are you not afraid of what would happen?
No one will ever take my son away from me. If that ever occurred, I'd hunt the bastard down and rip off his head with my bare hands.
Why do you keep on working for the gang, Joe? You know it doesn't suit you.
It's true, I hate this job.
You could leave tomorrow. Stop.
That's easy for you to say, Doctor. We are poor. My son's weak, and there's no way he'll endure another disappointment.
Goodbye, Miss.
この人。かわいそうな気が。
Don't be shy, handsome.
I'm not looking for what you're selling.
All right then, but
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane?
I don't know her.
You seem to...
Dorothea helps the sick people.
Christina, have you been examined?
I don't like doctors.
Considering your line of work,
If it is going to happen,
you can put your own life in danger.
and you think that would worry me?
Tell me about it.
Are you joking?
I have no interest.
Short.
Many people must deal with...
And when exactly was the last time you looked for a job? Or
Goodbye. Forgive my
Do not apologize, my son. Father...
I am Dr. Jonathan...
A scientist?
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
I don't like the liberal ideas of nurses, but I especially abhor that Nurse Crane you mentioned.
Why do you hate Nurse Crane more than other nurses?
Before coming to London, she was a member of the communist resistance in her country. That's what happens when you let a woman get involved in politics.
So, you're not exactly a fan of Florence Nightingale's work. But nurses are essential for modern healthcare.
Nuns should be the only women allowed to take care of male patients. It's obvious only they have the necessary moral fiber.
What do you mean when you say that I am more lost?
All scientists are entangled in a world of causes and consequences. And most of them can't see the plain truth.
Quite a judgmental opinion, if you ask me. But what do I know? Blinded by science as I am.
But you are seeking answers, aren't you? Answers about the Armageddon about to strike the city. Answers about the hidden truth.
I am. But the answers I seek... What do you mean?
All science...
Quite a...
But you...
Well, I suppose I...
As a doctor, you must be aware of the decimating epidemic. But let me tell you that this so-called Spanish flu is just the beginning of the end.
What do you mean?
The beast is finally revealing itself, corrupting the flesh and the heart of men. With my own eyes I have seen them, those minions from the abyss.
Really? And what would be your answer to this biblical threat?
We must fight the disease before this legion outnumbers us. But not with scalpels and microscopes. No.
What is left then?
Cleansing fire.
Tell me, Tobias, what exactly is your plan concerning the cleansing of this city?
God will recognize his own. More than once this city has risen from the ashes, hardened and purified by the flames.
Purification by fire has proved useful, but where do you stop? Burn the clothes? The buildings? The corpses? Worse?
Your lack of faith is predictable. But my task is to convince rational minds like yours to see the light. This is God's will.
You're mad and dangerous. You're nothing but a soulless butcher. A small-time Torquemada. The Savonarola of Whitechapel.
My son, if you think salvation is a free gift, go listen to the lies of that pompous fool, Joseph.
Joseph, a fool?
Vicar Larrabee of St. Mary's Church. While he continues preaching his fraudulent redemption, more and more people die in the streets.
Have you any friend?
No. But I have a disciple I see as my son. He is so devoted. I sent him to...
Where did you send?
I sent Samuel to the...
You sent him on some preaching crusade?
As a true believer.
I have...
Walls of your home will not protect you, for there is no protection against malevolence and trickery.
Would you like me to
Good evening, Christina.
Change your mind, Mr.
Goodbye, men. I cannot enter.
意味わからんな。
Good evening, miss. I know what you're thinking. A tall, strange... Melia, I know you work for Dorothy Crane. Please tell me about her secret dispensary. A stubborn and mute comrade. Nurse Crane and Darius Petrescu have been clever. I know you understand what I'm saying. Your silence has nothing to do with you being mute, does it? Very well. Hello again. Very well.
Crush the leech, boys! I shall fear no evil. Stay back, stop it, leech!
仕方したら大丈夫。
Stupid beast!
誰かな。ここなんだけど。赤。 こは抜けれない。こない。これだ。行くんだろうか。止まらない。 から声が。
Are you all right, miss?
I don't know. Who were those people? They wanted to kill me. Why?
They've lost their minds in the epidemic. They won't come back for now.
You seem to know a lot about them, sir.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. I'm investigating this disease.
I am Xiaoxun. Thank you so much for helping me, Mr. Reed. I must go to the cemetery now. Goodbye.
Oh, そうし、どういうこと？
Carnage. Is Father Whitaker's disciple among the bodies, I wonder? This man's far too old to be Samuel. It's locked, all right. Shouldn't you go back home?
Maybe later.
ぽいよな。いけるのか。
No. By the look of his clothes, this man's a docker. Samuel isn't here. I had better follow the blood trail. As I feared, Samuel no longer preaches the good word.
Right.
This is despicable.
Best be moving on.
Protection against malevolence and trick.
Good evening, Mr.
His father, Wit.
I have found Samuel, your disciple.
I already expected the worst. He should already have come back. He is dead, isn't he?
Yes, he is now. The epidemic took him.
Samuel steadily made donations to our cause. He would have rewarded you himself if you'd found me in that awful cemetery. Please accept this money.
Why did you send Samuel to the cemetery, Tobias?
I sent him on a vision. A dream of a dreadful and laughing queen covered with blood, sleeping with the dead and feeding on the fear of the dying.
A laughing queen dressed in blood. Tell me more.
This epidemic is her feast, the announcement of her return. Against her, science is no more than a child's toy.
But who is she?
She is the mother of harlots and abomination of the earth. She is Babylon, drunk on the blood of the saints.
Why did you send Samuel to the cemetery, Tobias?
I sent him on a vision.
Good evening.
It's
Tobias Whitaker.
I have done what no one was ready to do. I will smite the flesh of the unclean to protect the righteous.
You are just another heartless murderer, exploiting the epidemic to kill with impunity.
No! No. The only way to contain the spread is to strike at the source itself. The proliferating sick.
You're not the savior.
I take no pleasure in this awful cleansing, Dr. Reed.
Your disciple, Samuel, stole from the dead in Stonebridge Cemetery. I have proof of his crime and proof of his death.
No! Samuel was the best of us. So devoted, so zealous. He gave all he had for the cause. He...
He defiled the dead with his petty thefts. That's how he financed your misguided crusade.
Think what you will. When this...
Your precious Sam...
If...
だってまだレベルが足らんのか。どうやなんつってたっけ。レベルはどうやったら上がる？レベルってこと。レベルもうあいつ食べたいんだけど。
I have had enough.
多いんかな。やるか。
This could be the box Lewis thought he lost. A love letter from Joe Peterson's wife, addressed to Barrett Lewis. Who should I give it to, I wonder?
Don't forget, check every roof, every door. Killing's all you deserve. Like right. Crush the leech.
なんだ謎。
Joe, please, I don't have your money.
Protection against malevolence and trickery.
こんなところから行けたんだ。
Can't you just look the other way this week, Joe? Come on, we can sort it out, right?
It's not my call, Baron. You pay one way or another.
Please, Joe. How long have we known?
どっちに渡すか。レッドルーシに渡してもしょうがない。
Each other. We even used.
You again?
I think the document's in this box.
Really?
I found it in an abandoned building.
Let me see. Letters about my book.
You do not appear surprised.
Surprised about what? Harry's my son, I'm his father, and that's all there is.
Yes.
Here's a little something for your trouble.
何がもらえるわけでもない。
Goodbye, Mr.
I should never have taken up my father's business. Fancy buck.
You never. Goodbye for.
自分のレベルはどうやったら上がるんだ。 レベル1なんて。どうやったら上がんだよ、最近レベル。マジでに無理っぽいな。これ誰？
Excuse me, sir. Are you...
Sorry, I'm new to Whitechapel.
Dr. Reed, the famous...
I heard you're investigating an underground medical dispute.
Not much, I'm afraid. They are wary of strangers, and I'm not really an acquaintance of theirs.
I'm a doctor, Mr. Darby. I care about
Are you sure you're not just concerned about the repercussions that a scandal involving a certain Nurse Crane from the Pembroke Hospital would bring?
Without a doubt, you are a damn fine journalist, Mr. Darby. What do you know of her accomplice, a man named Darius?
I don't know much about the man. He's very cautious. Never goes out. Doesn't seem to have any friends or family.
He never goes out?
No. A few days ago, he unexpectedly did. I followed him, but it was just a ruse to keep me away from his house.
Really? How do you know?
He went to the nearest mailbox, but just before posting his letter, he ripped it up and threw it away.
He has no relatives at all?
No. Except for that strange man, a poet named Richard Nethercott, who sometimes comes by. Darius would never let him in.
Where can I find this Mr. Nethercott?
He spends most of his time lurking around Whitechapel, talking to himself or declaring verses. These days, you can usually find him behind the church.
あげないといけない。なんかいっぱい使ってチャプターあげたらいける。
Why are the newspapers keeping silent about...
There's a war going on. People shouldn't be...
I served in France. Our top priority...
Sir, streets are a battlefield too. An invisible and untold war is going on, and it must be stopped.
Have you any idea of the danger you face in these streets at night?
I've had to run and hide more than once from frenzied mobs incensed by the fever. Do you think the flu is really responsible for this, Doctor?
I must confess, some of my rational views have been shaken by recent events.
I'll remember to stay away from the district's roughest streets then.
What is a journalist doing in this borough after sunset?
He goes where none of his colleagues would dare to go, to inform the country.
So you risk your life to reveal the truth. I saw many reporters do the same during the war.
Whitechapel is the crucible of so many untold stories and tragedies. I want people to know them.
That's quite honorable.
Not at all, sir. And that's why I'm an independent.
Christina Popper claims she sells her body because she can't find any other work. Do you believe her?
Of course I do. Her story is exactly what I want my readers to understand. We live in an intolerant and divided nation.
Do you think things will ever change, Mr. Darby?
I believe the situation can only improve. And now that women can vote, I'm convinced things will change.
Goodbye, Mr. Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I would like to ask you a few questions.
Please be my guest. Although I may not be the best informant regarding this part of town, my words speak about that which the eyes cannot see.
Really? Are you an artist of some kind?
I'm a poet, sir. Richard Nethercott, at your service.
May I ask you a few questions about the district?
Extraordinary part of town, is it not? I'll be glad to help you, if I can.
What can you tell me about an old man called Darius?
Darius Petrescu? Yes, I know him. At first, I thought he was only a small publisher. I invited him to publish my work, but his reaction was pretty clear.
Not interested in your talent?
Darius is an old political activist who takes delight in printing tracts and lampoons. Those communist activities only require mediocre writing skills.
I'm looking for Dorothy Crane, a nurse who lives in this vicinity.
Dorothy Crane. Oh, I love the name. The Crane of Whitechapel. Sounds very mysterious.
May I ask what you're doing at this hour of night?
Not at all. I'm just enjoying the pleasure of a quiet walk. Though night talks are always preferable, if you ask me. Especially with...
But are you not afraid?
Oh, why should I? I see some equity in the Spanish flu. No flesh should be saved, say the scriptures. Good or evil, rich or poor, all are equal in the eyes of the flu.
If you say so. But as a physician in a time of epidemic, I must caution you to avoid unnecessary exposure, sir.
Thank you, Doctor. But we both know the seeker of truth has to go boldly where...
Are you aware that your light...
But this is where I must be to feel the real beat of the city. I had to come, see it for myself.
I understand your...
I don't care. I don't have many friends, Doctor. And my...
If some misfortune...
Well, you, for a start, my dear Doctor.
What are your thoughts?
Terrible, you say? No. Of course, the death of so many innocents is a tragedy. But the scourge has not been all...
What are you talking about?
Do you remember London before the flu? Noisy, cacophonic, quiet nowhere to be found. And now, listen to this oddly peaceful silence.
Yes. The enjoyable silence of the...
Most people fail to understand my perspective. I don't blame them. But how could I call myself a poet if I veiled?
Tell me, Mr. Nethercott.
The place is not beautiful per se, but how to
Do you not think...
On the contrary, sir. Whitechapel...
What can you tell...
Not much. And that's the beauty.
Perhaps you're just afraid.
One day, perhaps, I'll ask her to come with me. But will she still be my wild flower of Whitechapel?
And have you ever tried to learn more about her? Where she lives? How she survived?
Maybe I prefer she remains an...
In what way?
The struggle by gaslight, the barren smiles and...
If you say...
Such vibrant antagonism and vivid...
Vivid, of course, yes.
Oh yes, the poignant distress. You see what I mean, don't you?
Did you know the mute florist is a member...
No, I didn't. But I thank you for this information, sir. For it only enriches the mystery surrounding the precious camellia.
Are you not curious?
That girl has not an ounce of malice in her. Whatever she may be hiding, it's certain to be for the benefit of...
I fear you are a hopeless romantic, Mr.
Guilty as charged.
I'll leave you. The content of Darius' letter to his children could give me more leverage to enter. Darius is a bit less of a mystery now. It should not be that difficult to incite him to let me in. Good evening.
Shake.
Clayton Darby claims he will...
I believe Clayton's courage will erode with time, until he finally leaves Whitechapel to start another fight.
Are you talking from...
I've seen your type come here to get a good fuck in a cheap room or a dark alley before going back to their fancy houses in the West.
Why this...
How can you speak about starvation if you've never been hungry? Or about poverty? Or anything else you have never suffered?
Goodbye. Hello again. Tell me about Richard Niven.
点々しか言わないんだけど。でもらえるけどさ。
Very well.
睡眠レベル見たら。
Protection against malevolence and trickery. You are blinded by the right?
誰が会話してないのかもわからん。戻ってくるまで多分どうしようもないな。ついてるけど聞いてないやつ。
Cheap price, good quality. Come on, take a look. Don't be afraid.
You never... Joe Peterson.
I'd known Joe for years. I saw him box once or twice. He was a friend then. But these days, he's just another thug.
What can you tell me about Mr. Peterson? Besides his behavior toward you, obviously.
Colossus Joe was a decent boxer, good one even. But after his wife passed away, he found every excuse to stop training. Just wanted to pick fights with everyone.
Without making excuses for him, it's safe to say that despair...
We've all had some rough times, ain't we? But most of us don't use our fists to see us through.
And no one has ever...
Nobody would be fool enough to...
Barrett.
Yeah, I did. She's the only woman I loved. My first regret is that she stayed with Joe after Harry was born. The second is I never shed a tear when she died.
Did you ever try?
Never. But I suspected he knew everything, even without knowing it. And he decided to make me pay in his own way.
Do you mean you're Harry's father?
No one will ever know for sure. And it's better that way. And I don't believe I'd have been all that bad as a dad.
What do you know of Harry Peterson? The boy seems so fragile. Not like his father at all.
Harry's a good boy, but he spends most of his time complaining.
What troubles him exactly?
Well, despite being his father's son, almost everything, I think. He never wanted to come to Whitechapel in the first place. Hates this place more than most of us.
Goodbye, Finn.
This district seems to get uglier every year.
Mr. Eve. Goodbye. Mr. Petrescu, just 1 minute, please.
You again. Go away.
Sir, wait. Stop this. Don't you see we're on the same side? We fight to help the poor, sick, and abandoned.
I'm nothing like you, Mr. Doctor.
Yes, you are. You too believe in providing medical care without charge. You know what we have to sacrifice to...
I have to admit your words have conviction. All right.
It's locked, all right.
If you want to talk to Dorothea, you must go...
We've not been formally introduced.
I am Darius Petrescu. I'm here to keep snitches and spies away from Dorothea. And I also run the...
So Dorothy's real name?
Like myself and many people in this area. Dorothea is from occupied Romania. That's...
She seems important to the...
More than you can imagine.
Tell me everything you...
I do not believe in the afterlife, Doctor, but I'm almost...
Are you not worried for her?
She is as brave as she is tough, and...
Are you in love with...
Don't be stupid. If I had met her when I was younger, we could have won our revolution.
Who is she, really?
She's not from around here, that's all we know. Camellia is not even her name. It's her favorite.
You say she has no close family?
Well, there's that awful poet who constantly follows her around like a lost puppy. A good man for sure, but a very poor writer.
Do you have any family left?
Who knows? I have abandoned my people for so long, they might as well be dead. As dead as I am for them, I suppose.
Don't be embarrassed, sir.
It's quite awkward to talk about our families like this, but... Thank you, Dr. Reed.
This war won't last.
No. I have taught strength and determination to my sons and daughters. I'm an old, dying man who only has memories of better times to...
How did you meet Nurse Crane, Darius?
I'm her oldest friend in England. Dorothea and I share many ideas about this country and about the country we left.
You mean occupied Romania, don't you?
Really? Then perhaps you have more...
I know you fought for your country.
I know my days are numbered, and I know I won't see my homeland again. But I fought for Romania all my life.
But Romania escaped the grasp of...
It is not the country I fought for. My homeland is not appeased, Doctor. And I still see a dark future ahead for my people.
Goodbye, Mr.
Yes?
Do you need some... Well, I think you do.
Free drugs from an ink.
Goodbye, Mr.
Can you hear my voice? I need help! He's going into convulsions, Doctor!
What do we have here, nurse?
Patient Razvan Vasily, high fever running on 3 days. Complaints of dizziness, muscle aches, and head pain, diagnosed with influenza.
Treatment?
Aspirin and salicin for the fever and discomfort, liquids for dehydration, but he's having trouble keeping even water down.
Thank you, nurse. Anything else I should know?
He did lose consciousness this morning, but he's never had convulsions like these.
He's not convulsing, he's choking. He's not getting any air. Scalpel! Hand me that scalpel!
What can I do, Doctor?
I need to perform a tracheostomy. Short pipe. That rubber tube will do. We're going to cut a passage for air through the neck.
Yes, Doctor. He's breathing again, but he's coughing up blood.
Internal hemorrhaging. I need to make another incision into the chest cavity to drain the fluids from the lung. Prepare another tube.
A thoracostomy? Doctor, we've nothing to fight the infection. We need an aseptic environment.
Right then, Nurse Crane. What do you suggest we do?
I've no idea. I'm not the doctor.
Time is of the essence. We need to perform a thoracic drain.
Yes, Doctor. He's still bleeding, Doctor. I'm losing his pulse.
The drain must have punctured the intercostal artery. There's too much blood.
Are you all right, Doctor?
I can't see. I must first suture the artery. Find the wound. The source of the blood.
Needle and thread, Doctor.
Good. The stitches are holding. How's he doing?
We're losing him. We've lost his pulse. He's dying, Doctor.
Cardiac massage, now.
Cardiac... What? Are you making this up as you go along? We've lost the pulse. He's gone, Doctor.
Nurse, We did everything we could.
Truly? Everything you could? Is that how you'll report this in your log? Is this how the war went? Piling up one poor corpse beside the next?
This was not an influenza-induced seizure. I've never seen symptoms like these on the continent.
Neither have I. But the previous symptoms leading up to this attack were the same, indistinguishable from the epidemic.
No. There was something more vile in these reactions. Something primitive.
There have been numerous reports of mental breakdowns caused by the fever that accompanies the flu itself, Doctor.
Yes, but... I'd best take some samples of the blood for analysis.
I doubt you're here to test my bedside manners. I suspect it was more than intuition alone that led you to us. So, how might I be of service, Dr. Reed?
Your heart might be in the right place, but you can't carry on with this blackmail. For God's sake, Dorothy, it's extortion. It's a serious crime.
Doctor, you think your warnings scare me? I've stolen and plied, blackmailed and lied, but what else am I to do? I'm all these people have.
You've convinced me of the sincerity of your actions and their noble justifications. But all the same, blackmail is a crime, and it will stop, Nurse Crane.
So, are you going to turn me over to the authorities?
Listen very carefully, Dorothy. You will erase from your memory everything you pretend to know about Lady Ashbury and Pembroke Hospital.
Let that rich bitch off the hook over my dead
Nurse
body.
Crane, enough. Listen as if your life depended on every word. I know you've a generous heart who gives freely to those in need, but you shall walk away from the shadier streets of your business.
I will never abandon...
Dorothy, the discussion has come to a close. Your clandestine activities in the Resistance are over. Let it go.
I'll let it go. Yes. All gone.
It's locked, all right. It's locked, all right.
Oh, this one stinks already. See them fancy clothes? This one's a top.
It's a killer!
stupid beast! Bloody leech! Oh my god!
Hello, Mr. Petrescu.
Hello, Doc. Yes?
Tell me
I do not believe... I do...
Are you...
Doc.
Goodbye.
Maybe it's time to see if this Christina is still working.
Good evening, Mr.
I could ask you.
Are you living on the...
And why not?
What about your...
My house is always open to...
Why are you...
I remember the night you came here and...
What do you...
I'm not sure. Strange men came to see me after Dorothea's death, with strange weapons and very odd...
What kind?
Stories all around me.
You believe them? Aren't you too old to hold a weapon or listen to scary stories?
Yes, I am old and alone and will die soon, but if these stories are true, maybe I...
I heard what happened.
Everything was going well, and...
She had it coming, Mr.
So you put...
You seem to have a lot.
I heard you are a famous...
I didn't use drugs or medical...
But what happened to her then? After you left, she did not even recognize me. Then she got careless and sick, and I had to flee.
Tell me everything you...
I do not... Who will assist Dorothea helping our comrades now that I die?
It's locked. I cannot enter.
よっ 殊だったんかな。マジか。いいちゃんさんの応援されてるな。マジか。マーカー削除。頑張ろう。ドア開けれるのか。これできるだけ小さいところになるんですね。マジでこれやばくね。いや、あいつ以外の問題だった。いやー、マジかー。いつまで来るか。 に吸いたかったんだけど。やばっ、死ぬの嘘強ー。めっちゃ強い。こいつ倒そう。 マジで強い。もうちょいだったな。そう。まあ、いけるのは間違いないな。
Flue is no match for the Swanborough cordial.
It's time to see if this
いや、こいつをまた戦わないといけないのかないな。バレるのか。でボッコボコにされるからな。これがつらい。最初スタートできるか。マジであれ当たらんかった。マジで顔まで。やばい。マジでかよ。嘘やん。 なんかよくわからん一撃でやられるな。なんだろう。いやー、むずい。諦めないでね。ある状態でいいと思う。最初スタンできるから。これいけたの？マジか最後ってびっくりするわ。いやー、1000にしかならんくなったね。鍵かかってるやつ何個かあったな、確かに。ような気がするが。 めて部屋の中か。いるかってことは、入ってくるか。これか。
It's locked, all right.
医療クーポン。医療クーポン。これか。小さな鍵ってそういうことか。どれこでも開けれるんだな、多分。いいよな。倒したところで経験値がほぼもらえないっていうのが悲しい。ストーリーでしかもらえない。
Human blood. Whoever left these marks did so deliberately. I can't believe I'm doing this.
What the? 隠れ家や。
I have this thirst for blood.
Kill it, boy! Back in the fucking grid! Burn it, boys! Shit! Crush the leech, boys! Die, vermin!
めっちゃ出てくる。何これ。起きたかったんじゃない？あれ？ここに1個残ってるだけ？なんもないな。やっぱあそこか。調べる。頑張ってみよう。だな。
I can't believe I'm doing this.
何降りれるとかある？ないよ。別の道から行くしかないのか。いいな。だな。でもここってさ、来たことあるやつやん。だね。 意味ないな。完全にもう一回行ったやつだ。こっちから上に上がると思う。これしか入れんじゃん。回せないの？割と長かったな。ほんと深刻だわ。
Good evening. Doctor, do you need any medical? Come on. Goodbye. Good
evening.
Do you require?
I will.
No.
I'll try.
Goodbye.
Another night with the glorious battalion of
Good evening. Do you need any? Our job.
That's easy for you.
Goodbye.
Perhaps I should have considered the offer from that captain.
Good evening. Do you need?
No. Thank you.
Goodbye. Good evening. Soldier.
Not really.
As long as you
don't think.
Goodbye.
Too much energy for someone.
I'm quite busy.
Do you need my?
Don't be.
Thank you for your time. Good evening.
Good evening.
Is there any?
Really?
I will. Good.
Good.
Do you require?
Do you? Well.
Goodbye.
これでどんな感じだ。あと一人貧血と普通は治せないな。
You always knew the words to calm the children.
Come now, we can handle this.
Iや、貧血作れないな。作れるか。これどうやったら作れるようになるんですね。そんな作りたくねえな。これでチャプター2が終わるのかな。アイテム直しとかないと終わる。
You don't mind if I search your pockets, do you, sir? You won't need any of these anyway. I'm not stealing from you, mister. I'm only redistributing your belongings to people who need them more than you. You see, no one has claimed your body, sir, so it would be such a shame to bury you with your valuables. I will not forget you, sir, and I thank you for your generous donation.
Goody. Is there an... Rick? Unfortunately, you... Goodbye for now.
Words to calm the children, Ellen. As for me, what a blow.
If only there were more of us, less designation and more determination.
Consider the offer from that cabinet.
I would ask you to avert your eyes, sir. Or did you not know it was rude to stare?
I knew it.
Speak up, Dr. Reed. I like a man who speaks his mind.
You killed him. He trusted you. And you killed him.
Spare me your sarcasm, Jonathan. You are but newly born in this world.
So in the end, the accusation was true, wasn't it?
The situation is somewhat awkward nonetheless. I have not been observed sustaining myself for many decades. I have to say I'm a trifle embarrassed.
Anyway, I have concluded my inquiries concerning your blackmailer.
I see. Please excuse my agitated state. Under normal circumstances, I wouldn't let anyone see me in this condition.
The case is closed, Your Ladyship. The person who took advantage of you has, shall we say, seen the error of her ways.
So who was it?
My lady, the blackmailer was dealt with using the utmost discretion. The culprit's identity is of no relevance.
Thank you, Jonathan. That is exactly what I needed from you. You have proven your loyalty, so, as a friend, please accept this small token of my appreciation.
Thank you, my lady.
If you have an inclination to learn more about vampires or your current situation, I will be glad to aid you in your quest for knowledge.
Why does Dr. Swansea allow you to feed on the patients of the hospital?
Dr. Swansea is a good and compassionate man. He is trying to find a solution for our hunger. Until that happens, he is clever enough to understand that I only feed upon the dying.
What do you know about this Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole?
The Brotherhood is well known amongst London Vampire Society. As long as our kind is discreet, and as long as they do not interfere, we have come to a mutual understanding.
And no one suspected you of the murders?
As you well know, suspicion has recently fallen on me of killing for pleasure. But you have my word, Jonathan. I take no pleasure in taking a life.
I know this is beyond the pale, but may I inquire your age?
Really? And I thought you were gentlemen. If you must know, I'm 27. I've been 27 for a long time now, and 27 I shall remain.
And who bestowed upon you this eternal youth?
My maker. He left this isle a long time ago.
Very well. But I believe there is more to this than you are saying.
A lady has to have some secrets.
Why did you save me in the canning factory?
I could hardly stand by and watch such a promising young blood as yourself be torn to shreds by some gutter scowl.
William Bishop wasn't the vampire that created me then?
No, Jonathan. Whatever their strength and demeanor, Scowls are the progeny of careless vampires. It cannot be the other way round.
What type of vampire is a Scowl?
Not a true vampire. The deformed offspring of lesser vampires. It is a shame these creatures run wild, slaves to their baser instincts.
I've been away from London and England for 3 years. This isn't the city I remember.
Things have gone from bad to worse here, Jonathan. I've lived in this city for a long time, and I've never seen it like this.
The Spanish flu has hit London that bad.
Yes, but it's not just that. I've heard things. Things I've not heard for a very, very long time. There are whispers in the shadows. Something far worse than the Spanish flu is here in the city.
What is it you fear?
Fear has long since flown this form. But there is something malevolent circling us. I feel fear is merely waiting in the wings.
Are there many vampires here in London?
Immortals are of a rare breed, and we often tend to hide. But you may occasionally meet some of us at night.
Do you know any of them? Have you an idea of the identity of the vampire who attacked me?
You mean your maker? No, Jonathan, I have no clue. But I fear he or she is as careless as cruel. To let you discover your new condition by yourself.
What do you mean?
Every now and then, you may discover an immortal in the deep of the night. But we are a rare and reclusive breed. Our progeny is almost never accidental.
Will they all be as affable as you, my lady?
I do not see why not. But remember, even the shark smiles before he bites.
That sounds like a lesson from experience.
Vampire politics are as intricate and sometimes tedious as a game of chess in a gentleman's club. I've learned from experience it is best to decline to play.
When I awoke, changed, I was chased and attacked by vampire hunters. Prepared and well-trained.
Though I can't be certain, more than likely it was the once glorious Guard of Priwen.
Once glorious, but still dangerous.
They have seen better days, but all fanatics are dangerous. You would be wise to stay clear. They are sworn to destroy our kind.
You make them sound like some sort of cult.
More a society, and like all the best ones, a secret society. I thought them almost gone, but it seems they have been recruiting.
I've been hearing a voice talking in my head. Is this some kind of insanity? It feels like the voice of the vampire that created me.
Hush. Tell no one this. It would be unwise to talk of such things amongst British immortals. Speak no more of your maker.
How could this cause offense?
Only the powerful immortals can mentally call to their progeny. No vampire or hunter will sleep easy, knowing that an unidentified elder is stalking the streets of London.
Excuse my forwardness, but... are you my maker?
Me? Goodness, no. Only a foolish immortal would create a progeny without taking precaution, and I'm no fool.
A vampire? Is that what I am? What we are?
Such a crude word, defined by penny dreadfuls and drunken hacks. No. You are now an Ekon, and that you shall remain.
Are you an Ekon too?
Yes, I am. We are the closest thing to what man refers to as vampires. Forget what you think you know about us.
I've been here.
Ha. Me?
A vamp?
Such...
So we are Ekons. How can I identify us amongst other vampires?
How to put it? All Ekon are vampires. But all vampires are not Ekon. We are but a branch of the immortal tree.
I don't understand. Why was I created and then left for dead?
That is a question only the one who made you can answer. It's not normal practice. I doubt even if you find him, he will answer you, considering how cruelly he treated you.
So me being a vampire could have been a mistake.
I very much doubt it, Jonathan. Contrary to the legends, it is not as simple to make another vampire by just biting someone.
I'd like to avoid creating another vampire by mistake anyway. Tell me, how is it done?
The process is dangerous. It could even kill your potential progeny. If you did decide to sire an offspring, they must drink of your blood, Jonathan.
I bid you farewell, for now, my lady. I must quickly analyze the blood I took from Nurse Crane's patient.
これでできるんだ。なるほど。
Razvan Vasily was infected by Spanish flu, but also has the highly unstable blood of the Scows. Is the London vampire epidemic transmitted through the flu? I should talk to Dr. Swansea about it.
Chapter 今日はこの辺りで終了したいと思います。では、見てくださった方、またよかったら見に来てください。じゃあねー。